Good morning. Welcome to our live feed update for July 26th. I'm your host, Taran Armstrong, and with me today is Jacqueline. How you doing, Jacqueline?
Good. How are you? Ready to talk about this crazy day yesterday?
Yes, a new person here to talk about the feeds with. Always happy to get new voices on the podcast. So Jacqueline will be joining us to recap everything that happened yesterday on the Big Brother 20 live feeds. And oh man, what a day!
There's so much flipping. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, this was I think they flipped at least three times, maybe four. No, I think it was three. I think. Wait, hold on. One, two, three. Yeah, at least three. So that's something. I said this on the recap last night that in Tuesday morning I said one thing, and then Tuesday night I said another, and then Wednesday morning I said another, and then Wednesday night I said another again. And luckily this time it's the same as what I said last night, but it did flip in between. So, that happened. But if you're just coming back from the previous update, things have changed. And I'm going to let you know how that happened over the course of the day here. So, it really starts with, again, it's really just any time the nominees open their mouths, they're competing to evict themselves. Kaitlyn starts the day talking to Angela, confronting her about what we talked about yesterday. Haleigh had told her that, like, hey, I think people are trying to trick you into, or trying to trick people into voting against you so that they'll trick you into going after those people and be mad at those people. And by the way, those girls that you think you might have, they were trying to get you evicted earlier in the week. And so she was, Kaitlyn was not happy, and she confronted Angela about this, apparently in a very aggressive way, and because she's suspicious of these people, and it just pissed Angela off. She was not happy about this.
Yeah, and we really kind of got to see Angela start playing yesterday because she was really against this and having her own opinions and not just being a piece of furniture.
Yes. So not looking great for that. Angela decided to go to Kaycee and be like, hey, look. This really annoyed me. I had this conversation with Kaitlyn, and she was really annoying and all of this stuff. So you know what? Maybe we should just get rid of her. She's good at competitions. Rockstar's not. Rockstar can't win anything. She's gonna be loyal to the women's thing. Why are we keeping her again? Like, I don't really understand the logic behind it. I feel like maybe we should just get rid of Kaitlyn and keep Rockstar. And after a little while talking with Kaycee, they both agree. Let's do it. Let's keep Rockstar.
And it's crazy because everybody has been trying to convince Kaycee, and Angela's the first person to really get through to her.
Yeah, Angela, she really reacted to this conversation, and she really just feels like this is what she wants to do. And I've got to say, I think this is a very bad flip, especially for Angela. We can get into the details of that a little bit later, but I was also very surprised at Kaycee. They bring this idea to Rachel. They both feel very strongly about it by the time they bring it to her, and Rachel is just like, what? Are you serious, guys? No, it makes so much sense to do this. We're disrupting that entire side. They're voting against each other. They're going to be mad at each other. We're pulling Bayleigh in. Like, it makes complete sense for us to do this. Kaitlyn is a target in front of us. Rachel is not. Rachel is going to slide by. Rockstar is not. Rockstar is going to slide by. Like, I don't understand you guys. And she's clearly very frustrated. She's completely right. I do think it is absolutely in the best interests of Level 6 to do this. But she doesn't have enough time to talk them out of it before Kaitlyn once again interrupts their conversation and prevents her from arguing the case any further. And despite Rachel being right, she's the way she's going to handle this is not going to be great for her within level 6. But that is what's going on. Kaitlyn comes in, she interrupts the conversation, and now Angela and Kaycee still feel like, no, this is on. We're going to keep Rockstar.
Yeah, it just seemed like Kaitlyn was everywhere yesterday and Tyler was nowhere to be found.
Yeah. So Kaycee ended up going to Bayleigh, again, before they can like really talk it out with level 6, and she just spills to Bayleigh like, hey, we're thinking keeping Rockstar now. And again, I was very surprised about Kaycee here. I kind of felt like she had more caution to her, but she really just like, before talking to Brett, before finishing the conversation with Rachel, before talking to anyone else in level 6, she went to Bayleigh. She told Bayleigh, and then once she tells Bayleigh, the person who I think benefits the most from this, by the way, she was like, Bayleigh was like, oh, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Maybe I might be on board with that. Like this is huge for Bayleigh. She benefits a lot from this, obviously. If she's able to keep Rockstar is a number for her. It means that level 6 is coming to her. Bayleigh doesn't have to vote against the rest of Faute. She doesn't have to lie to them. She doesn't have to set them up. She gets out one of her major targets, which frees her up to target the rest of level 6. So Bayleigh's feeling very great about this. And so that's what's happening there. Kaycee tells Bayleigh, and she's it's going to be very difficult if they do decide to flip back to get Bayleigh back on board now that they've sort of let the cat out of the bag. Again, I as soon as I was watching this, I was on Twitch. I was like, I think we may have overpriced Kaycee and Angela. This is very poor play from them.
Yeah, I'm not sure that it's the best idea for them, but it is the best idea to have the most fun feeds.
Yes.
Because this will be crazy.
Yes. And again, we talked about this a little bit last night. I think the credit here goes to Haleigh for I mean, really, the credit goes to Kaitlyn the most for flipping the vote on Kaitlyn, because she's the one who, after Tyler told her not to go to Haleigh and Fessy, went to Haleigh and Fessy. But then Haleigh, after Kaitlyn, for giving Kaitlyn the info that she did, for flipping Brett the day before. And all of this stuff, Haleigh did very, very good work there. And I do think that Haleigh and, in fact, Bayleigh is the person, like I mentioned, that benefits the most from this. And I think Angela actually, ironically, is the person who is the most hurt by this, as we'll get into later on in the day. So meanwhile, Tyler is talking to Sam, and again, nobody's bothered to tell Tyler any of this yet. So he's in the middle of telling Sam, listen, we're voting to keep Kaitlyn. I need to vote to keep Kaitlyn because Rockstar has been saying my name and all of this stuff. And Sam is pissed. She is so pissed. Her face, you can, like, Tyler goes to her, he's like, listen, Rockstar, he's been talking about, she's been saying Brett's name. She's been saying my name. She's going to come after us. And Sam's like, okay. And she's like, I can't vote to evict her. I can't. I need to vote to evict her. And Sam's face just drops. Like, what are you telling me right now, Tyler? Why? Rockstar's not going to win a thing. What are you talking about? She is very pissed. Very pissed.
Yeah, and it's amazing because Sam seems so sweet, and then, like the evictions or the nomination speech she dropped, she just all of a sudden, when she's mad, just comes out of nowhere with, I'm going to kick a mud hole through somebody's chest.
Yep, she did say that about Kaitlyn. That did happen.
I'm not quite sure what a mud hole is, but, Yeah,
I don't know either. Why does mud need a hole to live in? I don't know. Mud can live wherever it wants. So then Rachel interrupts that conversation, and Sam is so pissed. This is actually a really funny moment. Rachel interrupts them, and she's just like, because Rachel's pissed off at Kaycee and Angela for being dumb, and so she just needs to go upstairs and like hang out and be alone for a second. So she asks Sam, like, can I just hang out up here? And interrupts the conversation. Tyler leaves, and Sam's like, now what do you need to tell me? And Rachel's like, nothing. I don't have anything to tell you, Sam. I just wanted to hang out. She's like, no, come on, get it out, spit it out, come on. She's just so annoying. And this seriously goes on for like 5 more times. Rachel's like, no, seriously, I have nothing to tell you. Sam's like, no, tell me right now. She's like, I really just wanted to hang out up here. I have nothing to say. Well, you'd better come up with something to say then. Like, she was so mad, and she's like, what's the news now? And then she's like, you know what's gonna happen if you guys make it a tie? And Rachel's like, it's not gonna be a tie. If you guys make it a tie, then I'm gonna pull the two buttons or two stickers out of the thing, and that's what's gonna decide who goes home. It's gonna be two different colors, and I'm gonna pull one out, and that's what's gonna happen. So just stop it. And Rachel's like, it's not going to be a tie. Nope, 2 dots in the cup. That's what's going to happen. 2 dots, 1 cup. That's what's happening.
She is really adamant about that. And I'm wondering, is production just going to let her sit today at the ceremony holding a cup with 2 dots in it? Or is she going to need to run to the kitchen to get that?
Yes. Kirsten in the chat right now, doing her best Sam impression, saying that she can't believe that I don't have the self-respect to not wear big baggy hoodies. So, yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry if I'm disrespecting any of the men or women in the audience by my inappropriate fashion. So that happened with Sam. Then let's see. I scrolled down a bit. Angela, Brett, Rachel, and Bayleigh had a conversation in the have-not room where Rachel was back downstairs. She pitches hard against this idea that they should be flipping. She's like, this is so dumb. What are you guys doing? You guys are so dumb. And she has no support. Tyler is still not even aware of any of this happening. I think that if Tyler had been in on this conversation, maybe something could have changed. But Tyler doesn't even feel that strongly anyway. Especially, I think, once he has this conversation with Sam and realizes that he might damage his relationship with Sam by keeping Kaitlyn. So Rachel is trying to pitch hard. She is clearly very annoyed. And Bayleigh in particular is really pushing back. Brett is just like lying there doing nothing. And so Rachel's just like, you know what? Fine. Well, I think it's too stupid, but if you guys want to do this, then you can do this. And then Bayleigh kept like poking, like, well, but no, we don't want you to be mad. She's like, no, I'm not mad. I'm over it. I'm done. It's fine. I don't want to ruin my game over this, even though it's stupid. So Rachel, unfortunately, despite being the only smart one in that room of the level 6 people, did not handle it as well as she could have. And now they're kind of like, oh, Rachel, she's so pushy. Why is she being so pushy about this? We want to do this.
I think a big part of why Rachel's argument didn't go over well, though, was because I think Brett was really kind of taken aback that she was having the whole conversation while Bayleigh was in the room. Yes. I felt like Brett was really awkward about that.
Yeah, I agree. I think that Brett was very quiet throughout the whole thing, and it rightfully so. They were having this conversation, as I said, right in front of Bayleigh, who, especially if they then vote to keep Rockstar, is essentially enemy number 1 because she is the one that will now have control over that side. So, and I think Brett was definitely like, what are we doing? But this conversation did not go well for Rachel. She fails to convince them otherwise. Meanwhile, Kaycee is going to finally tell Tyler about the flip, saying, we've decided we want to keep Rockstar instead of Kaitlyn. And Tyler's like, all right, that's cool. That's fine. And I do think that a large part of this is because of the reaction Sam had to him. He was like, wow, crap, like Sam is really pissed about this. I don't know if I'm willing to trade Sam for Kaitlyn. If I need to get rid of Kaitlyn in order for Sam to not be mad at me, that's fine, especially if Kaitlyn just stays this week anyway. I think Tyler does realize that it's likely that the person leaving isn't going to go home no matter what, and that's as long as Fessy and Haleigh vote against Kaitlyn, the effect is the same. He'll be able to hopefully win her allegiance. But at the same time, like I said, Tyler is not even necessarily the most strategic player in the world. He's the opposite of Vanessa. So I don't know if he even recognizes the benefit that he could have gotten from Bayleigh voting against the other Faute members. So he's not going to push too hard, and he's just going to accept, all right, that's fine. Let's just do that then. And so at that point, it's solidified. The vote has now flipped. It's going to be potentially unanimous, as Tyler says he is going to vote Kaitlyn out as well, although that may change. And Rockstar will be staying in the house. Kaitlyn will be the one who has the chance to return.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy to me that I feel like Tyler is the only one who realizes that Kaitlyn really has a chance to return, because everybody else is just assuming it's a battle back and either Kaitlyn or Rockstar will lose.
They're so
and
dumb.
Everybody's been really disappointed today.
I don't understand how they could possibly think this is a battle back. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like literally the first thing that we thought of when people were talking about it's a chance to come back and then it's automatically granted at the fourth week. Like, oh, maybe it's a battle back. Wait a minute. No, that makes zero sense. They're still talking about it like there's, I hope Steve comes back. I hope summer of Steve 2018, guys. No, Steve is at home with his family, guys. It's not happening.
Yeah, and I mean, if it was a battle back, it wouldn't be Steve that was going to win.
Yeah. So Tyler tells Kaycee, okay, this is good though. I'm gonna go talk to Sam and calm her down. So Tyler goes and he talks to Sam. He's like, look, I'm sorry. I was freaking out earlier. I just because I heard that Rockstar said my name and I freaked out. But no, don't worry. I'm gonna vote to evict Kaitlyn. Like, I'm sorry about that. And this immediately calms Sam down. She's happy and she's gonna kick a hole of mud in Kaitlyn's chest and all that. That's what she does when she's happy. Tyler again, like, is like, listen, I don't have feelings for her, don't worry. There was a point where Sam was like, no, look, if you were in love with her or whatever, it would be fine, like, I'd understand. And he's like, no, not the case. And this is when Sam tells Tyler, so I've been telling people that if it comes down to a tie, that I'm gonna have two dots in a cup and I'm just gonna pick one and that's who I'm gonna send home. But really, both dots are gonna be the same color. Kaitlyn's color. Tyler's just like, of course. So that was Sam's maniacal plan with the dots.
Yeah, there was not a chance that she was going to vote to evict Rockstar, so I'm glad she clarified the dots will be the same color.
Yes, and this is also when we got this moment. The doorbell rings again. Rockstar is at the door, and Sam says, "Go hide behind the bed." And
this was my favorite part of the whole day.
Tyler's like, okay. So he goes and he hides behind the bed. And because she was like, who is it? And it was like, oh, it's Rockstar. I just wanted something real quick. And so she's like, oh, go hide behind the bed. And so, we're thinking like, okay, this is going to be like 30 seconds to a minute, like whatever. And so she answers the door. Rockstar's like, oh, hey, I just wanted to blah, blah, blah. And then Sam's like, oh, come in. And then they start talking, and then Rockstar sits down, and I was live on Twitch while this happened. I was like, wait a minute, isn't Tyler behind the bed? Like, what? Wait, why are they? She just invited her. Like, they're now just having a conversation. Tyler is like behind the bed with like pillows on top of him, like he's gonna die behind there or something. They end up having not only a conversation that lasts, I think, somewhere along the lines of like a half an hour, but it was a conversation about nothing. These are two people, Rockstar and Sam, who are like, they say a lot of things but have no substance to them. They just talk in circles. And so it's a completely pointless conversation to be listening to, and so Tyler's just like sitting behind. I'm like, oh my god, poor Tyler is like stuck behind this bed now for a half hour, and I really wanted a camera to be on him, but afterward he was like, oh, the camera almost gave me away. So yes, it took forever. Rockstar finally leaves, and that's when Tyler finally pops his head out from under the bed. If you haven't seen this GIF on Twitter, you need to see it. It's very, very much very funny. Very funny.
And his eyes were so big. It was incredible.
Yeah. It's just a great moment. And then that wasn't even the end of it, because then they have to leave the room. And Tyler is like, okay, so you leave the room and then I'll crawl on the floor so that they don't see me leaving. And Sam is like, you've done this before, haven't you? He's like, no, I haven't. What are you talking about? She's like, yes, you have. Yes, you've done this before. And he's like, no, why do you think I've done this before? How do you know to crawl on the floor? He's like, you told me to hide behind the bed. I haven't done this before. What are you talking about? And so she leaves. The second she opens the door, Tyler is on the floor, and you hear JC like, oh, hey, Sam. And Tyler is crawling on the floor, like a ninja, or like a trooper, rolling and then like climbing up on the bed and then pretending to be asleep. Fantastic stuff to see this whole sequence of events go down.
It was just amazing. And then I think somebody comes up to talk to him eventually, and nobody ever wonders where he was.
Yeah, they figured he was sleeping on the couch the whole time, so he got away with it. All right. So then Fessy and Bayleigh are going to have a conversation. Bayleigh, now, like I said, the fact that they're going to vote to keep Rockstar gives Bayleigh a ton of room to maneuver here. So now she is going to be able to connect back up with Fessy and Haleigh, knowing that she's not going to be lying to them anymore, and that she's not going to be voting against them this week. And she talks to Fessy. She's like, hey, it kind of sucked when you did that to me, when you were like, shut your mouth. They reconcile. They're good again. And then they talk about the power and how she's kind of feeling like, okay, now that Rockstar's going to stay, I feel like maybe I can use the power next week. If somebody from the other side wins, I can use the power and nominate like Angela and Rachel. And then I can blame Rockstar because Rockstar will still be here. If Rockstar wasn't here, I wouldn't be able to blame her. So this is like, I'm liking this plan. I think that, if Brett wins or if somebody like that wins the HOH, I'll use the power. We'll put up Rachel and Angela. We'll blame it on Rockstar. Everything will be cool. And it's again, like, none of this would have even come close to being possible if Angela hadn't decided to flip the vote here. Giving Bayleigh this much power is such a massive mistake, and now she wants to use it. And it's not looking good for these level 6 people. I said this on the stream. Like, I feel like this is the first major mistake level 6 as a whole has made. And Tyler's kind of just letting them do it because either he doesn't care because he's fine, or because he doesn't see how big of a mistake it is. And it's probably a little bit of both.
Yeah, or he just thinks they're going to flip 5 more times today and it might end up where he wants it to. But I think it's a little crazy that Bayleigh wants to pin the power on Rockstar because everybody already suspects that she has it. So I don't know how that will fly. I mean, but I guess the hinky votes have worked this week. So who knows what these people will believe.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, and that's part of it. Like, people are wondering, like, Kaitlyn is never going to believe that Fessy and Haleigh voted against her, because they're just going to say that they didn't. But it's like, you really think that Fessy is going to be able to successfully lie to anybody in this house when the heat is on him? Of course not. What are you talking about? It's because people have gotten away with these hinky votes, so now everyone thinks that they can get away with stuff like this. I don't agree with Bayleigh's plan. I don't like Bayleigh's plan to nominate Angela and Rachel, but I think that part of her probably thinks, well, I know Kaycee suspects I have the power, but if I do this and I've been so gung ho and telling them I'm going to vote with them, they'd never suspect me because I'm going to be like, oh no, stupid Rockstar. And then, or at the very least, she can be like, well, I did have a power, but maybe Rockstar had the other one, or something along those lines. So this is not looking good. I also believe that Kaitlyn, if everyone votes against her, she expressed that she would be after Angela the night before. So I think Angela in particular is in the most danger, and it's directly because of her decision to flip this vote. I know a lot of people are happy that Angela has popped her head up, but she should have kept her head down. She really should have. This is not looking good for her. So Then we had Tyler and JC. Tyler is going to make the most out of this decision to keep Rockstar. He is, like I said, the one that goes to Sam that repairs that. He is now going to go to JC and say, hey, we're good. We're on board to take Rockstar out. You were right all along, or to keep Rockstar. You were right all along. I'm on board. I'm gonna, everything's cool. And JC is very happy about this. He's like, no, I'm telling you, this was the right decision. I'm very, very happy. I want to go to the end with you, Tyler. I want to take weak people with us. Like, this is how we do it. We keep the sides even. We play the middle. Like, this is gonna be great.
But when he said he wanted to take weak people with him, he said Haleigh and Bayleigh. And I don't really think of Haleigh or Bayleigh as weak players at all.
It's because JC is not as good at this game as we thought he was.
Yeah. That's really proved to be true.
Yeah. But, what are you going to do? So JC and Tyler, they're back at it. They're back together. Tyler is then going to go to Kaitlyn and try to tell Kaitlyn again, people are lying to you right now. People are lying to you. And Kaitlyn says, maybe it's stupid, but I completely, fully believe that Fessy and Haleigh are going to vote for me to stay this week. I completely believe them. The voices in her head are telling her so it must be true.
They've been really avoidant of her, so I don't know how she's not catching the drift. Fessy's not good at lying, and he gets very awkward and avoidant when... You could see it on the episode last night when he wasn't going to use the veto on her, that she was trying to get his attention in the bathroom, and he was just ignoring her.
She literally just needs to ask Fessy, are you voting to keep me? And he'd be like, I don't know what's going on, so, probably? And, seriously, it would be so easy. And again, that's why, the idea that Fessy would be able to successfully pull off a hinky vote where he pretends that he voted to keep Kaitlyn is absolutely absurd. But that's what Angela keeps saying. Oh, no, she's never going to believe that Fessy voted against her. What are you talking about? And Kaycee believed that, too. I was also disappointed with Kaycee. I felt like her logic was all over the place. So Kaitlyn also lets Tyler know that she'd be going after Sam because what she said was disgusting, and whoever else she's in the mood for, which Kaitlyn is just playing this the worst possible way that she could, just so bad. She's doing everything she can to get herself evicted.
Yeah, it's going to be whoever else her spirit guides tell her, and if Tyler votes to evict her, she's going to need a new spirit guide.
Yeah. So then we're gonna get Rockstar. She's been doing some stuff, talking to some people. She decides, I'm gonna do one more thing. And by one more thing, she thinks it's gonna help one more effort of campaigning. But what she actually means in the real world is, I'm gonna try one more time to get myself evicted. So she goes to Brett and she has a conversation with Brett where she's her usual self, and she talks in circles and she talks about how the one thing I can promise you is no more pots and pans, and that's the way things are gonna go, and I want to be here and all of this stuff. And Brett is gonna come away from this conversation going my God, she's so you know what? Hold on, maybe we should get rid of her. And he's gonna have a conversation with Tyler, Kaycee, and Rachel, and he's gonna be like, should we get rid of Rockstar? Doesn't it make sense? Isn't Kaitlyn a target? Couldn't we get people to vote against Kaitlyn and make her mad? And I want votes to be against Rockstar. She's so annoying. And so this conversation goes on, and for a brief moment there, it looked like the vote was about to flip once again.
Yeah, Rockstar's best move yesterday would have just been to go to sleep and hide and let everybody make their own choices without her, because she does drive everybody crazy. And the fact that she thought that, oh, no more pots and pans, yep, that's really the selling point that's going to get Brett, because that really bothered him so much.
It's literally Tyler tells Kaitlyn, just be quiet, don't say anything, lay low, you'll be fine. Kaitlyn can't do it. She opens her mouth. She's going to get herself evicted. Bayleigh also tells Rockstar today, shut your mouth, keep quiet, don't say anything, you're gonna get yourself evicted. And Rockstar couldn't do that either, but she did it better than Kaitlyn. And so even though she nearly gets the vote to flip here, they're having this conversation. They decide, you know what, maybe we should keep Kaitlyn. It makes more sense. She'll be mad at the people that voted against her. All of this stuff, it disrupts the other side. It pulls Bayleigh in, and so that's what they decide. Tyler and Rachel leave the conversation. Rachel goes to Bayleigh and tells Bayleigh, we're changing our minds. We're going to vote to evict Rockstar now. Bayleigh's pissed. She's like, oh, no. I just went to the other people and I was talking to them about the vote. You can't change it on me now. Bayleigh has got that taste of the power that she's about to inherit from this move, and she does not want to flip. But luckily for her, Brett and Kaycee keep talking after Rachel and Tyler leave, and then they kind of come back around to the idea, okay, you know what, maybe we're overreacting. Rockstar's, she's so useless. We'll keep Rockstar. So the vote flip died before it really got any legs. Kaycee will then go to Bayleigh and say, don't worry, we flip back in. We flip back over. We're not gonna vote Rockstar. We're gonna vote to keep Rockstar.
Yeah, and I mean, that's not the right move for everybody's game, but it'll be really fun, and it's really going to benefit Bayleigh a ton. Yes.
Bayleigh, beneficiary. Then Tyler goes to Kaitlyn, because again, now Tyler is once again under the assumption that Kaitlyn will be staying this week, and he goes to Kaitlyn and tries telling her again, people are lying to you, and she goes, who? He's like, I can't tell you. You're going to blow up. She's like, no, tell me. Look, Haleigh and Fessy are not voting for you. She's like, how do you know? Everyone has told me. They have told me. Like I don't know what else you want from me. And so Kaitlyn's just like, no, they're good. They're definitely going to vote for me. And he's like, all right. Let's just wait and see. We'll wait and see. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, but I think that the vote's going to have to be unanimous, or I think that Kaitlyn will want to believe Haleigh and Fessy if there's any votes. We talked about how Fessy can't tell a lie, so maybe she'll believe Haleigh.
I don't think there's a chance in hell that Kaitlyn believes that Fessy and Haleigh voted to keep her if they don't. I think there's no way that Fessy is able to keep that up. Tyler will say, no, they voted against you. Go ask them. I don't even think they're going to try. I think the vote's going to come in, and if there's a chance for them to hug, like Fessy would go up to Kaitlyn, I'm sorry. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think that I think this idea that like they would get away with voting against her and she wouldn't know, I think there's no chance, especially with like as much time as, like, again, hinky votes are hard to pull off. I know they've been pulled off this season, but I think they've been pulled off by some savvy players. I don't think that Fessy is a savvy player. I don't think he can. Like, maybe if it was just Haleigh, she could pull it off, but there's no way that Fessy gets away with voting against Kaitlyn without her finding out. But he tells her, like, look, if you stay, it's because of a vote of 6-5 with or 6-4 with these people, and Fessy and Haleigh are not in on that, and she just doesn't believe it, and she also does something that raised some ire against her last night. She starts talking about Tyler's dead father, and how she's hearing some voices. Oh, Tyler, your father is talking to me, and because Tyler's talking about how it's his dead father's birthday tomorrow, and so she's, oh, your father's talking to me. He wants me to be here. He wants me to stay tomorrow, and like. It's easy. It's fun to make fun of Kaitlyn. But at the same time, it's like you want to respect people's beliefs. But when it gets to the point where you were invoking the dead relatives of somebody, especially for your own benefit. I mean, let alone if it's like, if you think you're doing a good work, if you genuinely believe this is something that's happening to you, and that you think that you're benefiting the people that you're talking to, which I think is still bad and disgraceful. But this this is not that case either. This is to benefit herself. I think, you know, the joke is ripe there. It's father's birthday, and this is disgusting. But like genuinely, it is disgusting. And I think that of all the behavior that Kaitlyn has displayed in this house, this is by far the worst. And I think that it's genuinely abhorrent. You know, I hope we don't see more of it. It's just Tyler, who is somebody who was like, don't even like think about asking me to swear on my dead father, is now having to deal with somebody who is like invoking his name and saying that he's talking to her. It's just gross.
And if anybody deserves a daytime Emmy, it's him for keeping calm when she does this, because it's just awful. And I think that would be why he wouldn't throw her a sympathy vote tomorrow if everybody was going to vote unanimously, because he wants her to know that he hates her in some way for this kind of behavior.
Yeah. And again, if we were able to see her goodbye message from Tyler, you know, I think it would be really good, but I don't think we're going to see it, because
that's the only reason I'm hoping she's really getting evicted, is because I want to know what that goodbye message says.
I know. I hope if she does make jury, I hope one of the segments on finale night is like a montage of all the things Tyler said about Kaitlyn in the diary room.
Oh, that would be the best.
Yes, that would be. That's if they don't give me Tyler's goodbye message to her, then that's the compensation that I'm asking for on finale night. All right, so then Kaycee, after this conversation, finally lets Tyler know, oh no, we switched back. We're evicting Kaitlyn, and his Tyler's like, all right, just tell me what you guys want to do. So Tyler now knows. Then we get to the final part of the night. We had some more interesting conversations and revelations. Haleigh tells Rachel, really solidifying, even if this vote had flipped, I think Haleigh would have been able to flip it back on her own with this conversation. Has a long conversation with Rachel where she tells her all sorts of things about Kaitlyn and what Kaitlyn has said about Angela and Rachel. The main thing being, last night Kaitlyn was talking about how you guys were trying to trick people into voting against her, so she'll be mad at her. She'll be mad at them. And Rachel is sitting there thinking, that's exactly what we're doing, only Kaitlyn is like thinking that the votes are there regardless. She doesn't realize that we'd be saving her, but the fact that she's even thinking that way means that there's no way we can go through this plan, because, what if she doesn't believe it? So Rachel's just like, all right, she's definitely going home then. Rachel is finally like completely on board. She's like, screw this girl. She was pissed at Kaitlyn earlier. She was like, why is Kaitlyn running her mouth to people? Why is she ruining this for me? And so Rachel is on board now. Kaitlyn has to go. And this is a good conversation with Haleigh. Haleigh feels like maybe she can reel Rachel in later on.
Yeah, this was a really good move on Haleigh's part, because even if the rest of the house slips back, I think Rachel's voting Kaitlyn out no matter what now. So no matter what, it'll be a 6-5 vote.
Yes.
Or 6-4.
Yes. I mean, I don't think Rachel will vote against level 6, but I don't think she'll let level 6 flip back over at this point. So then Haleigh has a conversation with Fessy where she's talking about her conversation with Rachel, and Fessy is like listening, but actually just kind of like imagining what he wants to do to Haleigh, I imagine. And so then Fessy turns the conversation to, now that I'm getting rid of Kaitlyn for you, like he turns this into like, oh, getting rid of Kaitlyn is something that's good for his relationship with Haleigh, because Kaitlyn was bad for their relationship. So this is some big statement that he's making by getting rid of Kaitlyn, and it should just bring them closer. And Haleigh's kind of reading between the lines, and she's like, don't do that for me. Like, don't get rid of Kaitlyn for me. Like, that's not what I want. And he's like, no. Like, it's like, it's very much what Puya says, the nice guy thing, where it's like, oh no, I'm doing this thing and it's for you and you're going to owe me if I do it. And so Haleigh has to be like, well, don't do it. I don't want you to do it for me. What are you talking? Do it if you want to do it. Stop. It's gross. And so that happens. And then he goes into, then he finds the vein to strike, because then he gets a reaction from Haleigh by telling her, Kaitlyn told me she has feelings for me. And she told Tyler that she has feelings for him. And Haleigh's like, what? No. And so like the second like Haleigh gives him a reaction that is like, actually interested in what he's saying, he's like, he's going to mine this for everything it's worth. He is totally into this.
Yeah, he's just desperate for attention from Haleigh, and this is his in.
Yeah.
To start blowing up Kaitlyn's game.
And so he's like, yeah, she told me, she said, I've been in a relationship for 5 years, but I met you and I just immediately thought you were my soulmate. And Haleigh's like, no, what? Why did you tell me this? And Fessy's like, oh, Haleigh likes me. And it's like, wait, what? No. Just keep telling me about the Kaitlyn thing.
Yeah, Haleigh likes juicy gossip. So.
Yeah, exactly. He's thinking like he's making her jealous. But that's Fessy. So he's like, yeah. So she was like, what did you say to that? And he was like, oh, I didn't want to I told her I didn't want to be like the guy. Yeah, this is day 8, as the Lou Effie says in the chat. He's like, I told her I didn't want to break up a 5-year relationship, and she told me, don't be a coward. Don't be a coward. You should be able to break up 5-year relationships. Don't be a coward, Fessy.
Yeah, for somebody that you've only known for 8 days.
Yeah.
So just don't be a coward. And he is a coward, so.
Yes. Then she wants to know, so did you guys hook up? Like what's going on? And he's like, well, she's like, oh, no way. He's like, no. Well, she it was one point, we were cuddling, we were really close, and she went and she was like, went to go lock the door, and I was like, don't lock the door. And I don't know what would have happened if she locked the door. That's all I'm saying. And she's like, oh man, that's so crazy.
Yeah, and a lot probably would have happened after that roller coaster conversation they had and all the inappropriate conversations they've been having at that point when she was HOH. A lot would have happened.
Yes. So Haleigh is just all over the place, oh, this is nuts. And then she said that to Tyler too, that's crazy. You should. And he told her, oh yeah, JC wanted to put us in the same room and have a conversation about this. And she was like, you should do that. You should have a conversation with Tyler. Don't have JC be there, but just have a conversation with Tyler. And Fessy is still scared too, but she's really pushing this. And JC will tell him to do it and he'll be like, no. But if Haleigh tells him to do it, Fessy will absolutely do this. I really, really want to see this conversation happen between Tyler and Fessy. And so it's possible that it might happen today or tomorrow. But I think when Kaitlyn stays, Fessy might decide maybe I shouldn't. So this happened. He also then ends up telling Rachel about Kaitlyn telling both him and Tyler that she had feelings for him. So this information has spread to I think more than half the house at this point. So
Sam knows, Bayleigh knows, Rachel knows, Haleigh knows, obviously Tyler and Fessy, so that's at least 6.
And JC and
I think Kaycee.
And Kaycee, yeah, because Bayleigh told Kaycee, so I think more than half the house now knows about this, and they think it's fine because Kaitlyn's probably gonna leave, but she's not gonna leave, and man, there's gonna be some drama. There's gonna be some drama with this stuff.
I can't believe how much they are all ignoring the chance to come back, that they just think she's gonna leave. It's wild.
It is wild. It's nuts. I don't understand these people. But yes, anything else you wanted to bring up from the feeds yesterday?
I don't really think so. I think you covered everything. I'm just dying to see what happens tonight with the chance to come back. And, if it's a unanimous vote, I think they're going to need to add more time on the clock for that puzzle because Kaitlyn's going to be so hysterical. She need a little extra time to calm herself down. Yeah.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm actually hoping that they don't have, I know I predicted that they wouldn't, but I'm hoping that that my prediction is correct and that they don't have the HOH competition tonight on the episode because I just feel like there's so much content here for them for this eviction episode with all the vote flipping and the drama and the Kaitlyn. I really want them to have the Kaitlyn has feelings for both Tyler and Fessy thing. I feel like that's a big part of all of this. So I feel like there's a lot of stuff to fit in, especially with this this puzzle to get back into the house. So I hope they don't have the HOH competition. I don't think they have time for it. Honestly, I don't think they have time for everything regardless. Melissa wants to know, where has Scottie been through all of this? Where does his vote lie? He is with Bayleigh, and he was willing to vote for Rockstar to leave, but Bayleigh let him know, oh, no, we flipped over. We're going to keep Rockstar, and he's on board with that. That's kind of what he wanted anyway. He did imply that he might target if Kaitlyn leaves. Again, if Rockstar had left, that he wanted to team up with the 3 women from level 6. But if Rockstar stays and Kaitlyn leaves, then he wants to target them because they are now the biggest target in the house. There's 3 of them. And so that's kind of where he's leaning. Again, just like, it's just like these women didn't even realize. I mean, Rachel realized it, but Angela and Kaycee did not even realize it. But like the second they decided to flip, like everyone started looking at them, and they are now like some of the biggest targets in the house, and they don't even know it. Like it's for a week that didn't even matter. Like what a massive mistake these women just made for an outcome that's gonna be the same anyway. Kaitlyn's gonna be here regardless, I think. So man, what an unforced error here. But you know, it's the way things go.
I can't believe last week we thought this was going to be a dud week. It's had more drama than pretty much all of BB19.
Yeah, pretty much. So let's see. Bob wants to know, how pissed would Tyler's alliance be if he did indeed give a hinky vote? I think that he would tell people ahead of time that he's going to do this. There's a chance. He's been telling Kaitlyn she has his vote. I think that he's either going to talk to Kaitlyn and say, look, it's unanimous against you. What should I do? And hope that she gives him permission. Or he'll go to everyone else and be like, look, it's unanimous against Kaitlyn. I want to give her a sympathy vote because I feel for her. At which point people will be like, look, she's been playing you. And he'll be like, okay, I know. I just feel bad. So I think that's, you know, those are the 2 things that might happen. Either way, I don't think he'll do anything that he thinks will piss anybody off. I think
it would be best for his game to give her the hinky vote, but I kind of want him to sever that relationship because I want to see how next week plays out with the relationship over.
I mean, basically, just like he needs to feel it out and see what will make people the least mad. You know, if Kaitlyn gives him permission to vote against her, then he'll do that. If the rest of the house gives him permission to vote for her, then he'll do that. You know, that's how we'll go. Let's see. Not Kevin wants to know, assuming nobody goes home and a double eviction is next week, who do I think could be the casualties? So assuming that Bayleigh goes through with using her power, we could see man, anything could happen next week if Bayleigh uses her power. We could see Angela or Rachel go home because of the power. We could see, but Kaitlyn will still be in the house, and she didn't know that was going to happen, so she might not use the power if Kaitlyn stays in the house. So honestly, too many things up in the air right now. I think the people in danger still are Rockstar, who's still kind of in danger. Kaitlyn will still be in danger. I think that now Angela is kind of in the crosshairs, and I think those are, and you know, Brett is obviously still a big target. So like those 4 I think are the main people. And then if Bayleigh tries to be sneaky and uses her power and then gets caught, she could have a very unfortunate and untimely demise. But I don't think that will happen. So those are the people I think are in the most trouble at the moment. But like I said, anything can happen. There are still way too many variables up in the air. I'd have a much better idea by tomorrow morning, where you should check out tomorrow morning's live feed update at 10 a.m. Eastern. Make sure you check it out. Tonight, after the episode, we will get some recaps from Rob, Kirsten, and I believe Brent will be on with them. So make sure you check that out. Yeah. I think that's all we've got for you. Again, Sunday, check out Social Strategy Sundays on the Twitch channel, Taran Armstrong. We have a lot of fun there. And yeah, anything else, Jacqueline?
I think that's it.
All right, where can people find you?
I'm on Twitter at JacquelineG_.
All right, very fun stuff. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you, Jacqueline, for joining me.
Thank you, Taran.
Yes, you can find me on Twitter at ArmstrongTaran, and I will see you next time.